So I'm just going through TikTok, you know, so you can go through. So it's not all car insurance stuff, but you can go through it. People are all over the place, and I'm not gonna disagree that car insurance is expensive. In fact, it could be really expensive. But today, I kind of want to break down why insurance costs so much. But before we get to that, we got to talk about how insurance companies make money. And it's pretty simple. That's the simplest part of this whole video. Insurance companies make money through one channel and one channel alone, and that's premiums. That's your monthly, semi-annual, annual, however it comes in. Those premiums that you're paying towards the insurance company are the way they make money. But what do they do with that money? Well, that's what we're going to talk about today. And we'll start off with the elephant in the room, and that's claim payouts. In 2022 alone, the insurance industry as a whole paid out over $566 billion in insurance claims. And what we're seeing is a simple supply and demand issue. So what we're seeing is a lack of supply. We have contractors that can't get supplies, actual supplies. They can't get workforce. You have auto repair shops that are lined up that can't get parts, that can't get people to come work. And so you have a low supply. But on this other end of the spectrum, you have a huge demand because of the natural disasters and more auto accidents, and all those things cause a need for supply where you don't have much. If you're sold here, if that all makes sense for you, stop watching, you're good, move on to the next video. But if you're willing to hear some more, I got it for you. So after claims payouts, insurance companies spend the next chunk of money on what's called admin fees. And admin fees could be considered executive salaries, just prices to operational costs to run the business, and of course, advertising. Now, executive salaries are really commonplace. People go to point to say, here's where you could find some room for savings on premiums. But in reality, a CEO for a insurance company could go to a healthcare company and make a lot more money than they may do that. So therefore, it's kind of whatever the market bears in terms of salaries. So beyond salaries, we're going to move on to advertising. And I want you to make this point really clear in your head that if you're paying your premium every month, then you're paying for the gecko to show up during your sports center. So here's a quick rundown of ad spend for 2022. And this is the top 4 insurance companies that advertise. So you have Geico, Allstate, State Farm, and Progressive spent around $5 billion in advertising in 2022. And that's just spend. That's not how much it costs for production. That's not paying Dean Winters to be Mayhem or Patrick Mahomes to throw a pass in a State Farm ad. That's purely just airtime or digital space to put their advertisements. It's also important to note that that spend was down 30% from 2021. So far we have the formula. You have premiums coming in, claims and expenses going out, and then what's left over is profit. And that's a piece to explain here. Insurance companies can and have made huge profits, but sometimes they don't make any profit at all. In fact, in 2022, the insurance industry as a whole for property and casualty had a $26.5 billion loss, and that's $21 billion up from the loss they had in 2021, which is $5 billion. So we had 2 years in a row of really substantial losses. Therefore, premiums have to be adjusted and prices have to go up. You can see a lot of companies in the last couple of years have underestimated what they would actually have to pay out in claims, therefore having to increase and adjust their premiums now. So that hopefully that sheds some light on where your money goes when it comes to an insurance company. Now there are valid reasons to point executive salaries and advertising as being the reason your insurance costs so much. But at the end of the day, that price really comes down to what they're having to pay out in claims. Again, that $566 billion paid out in claims. I've thrown out a whole bunch of numbers today, and there's no need for us to dive more into the numbers. So I just want to kind of add our point of view to the whole thing. We're an independent insurance agency, which means you're probably not going to see one of our insurance companies have an ad on the Super Bowl. But they do pay us a small amount to write policies with them. And in my humble yet extremely biased opinion, I think it's better to have a little bit of your insurance premium go to a local small business where you're gonna know your insurance agent's name than to some large conglomerate that's paying billions of dollars to have a little green lizard be on TV. If you have any questions, throw them in the comments. If there's anything you want explained a little bit more, let me know and I'll dive deeper for you. And yeah, thanks for watching and we'll see you next time.